Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Brianne Clarkson is an American singer and songwriter. She rose to fame in 2002 after winning the first season of American Idol, which earned her a record deal with RCA Records. Clarkson's debut single, A Moment Like This, topped the Billboard Hot 100 and became the best-selling single of 2002 in the US. It was followed with her debut studio album, Thankful, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. Trying to reinvent her own image, Clarkson decided to part ways with American Idol management and developed a pop-rock sound for her second album, Breakaway. It sold over 12 million copies worldwide and earned Clarkson 2 Grammy Awards. She took further creative control for her third album, My December, by becoming the executive producer and co-writing the entire album. However, it caused a feud with her label, that was dissatisfied with her darker, less commercial rock music, and reluctantly promoted the album. Clarkson returned to the top of the charts with her more mainstream-oriented fourth album, All I Ever Wanted. Its lead single, My Life Would Suck Without You, holds the record for the biggest jump to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. She scored another Hot 100 #1 single with Stronger from her fifth studio album, Stronger. Clarkson also became the first act to win the Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Album twice. Her sixth studio album and first Christmas record, Wrapped in Red, ended up as the best-selling holiday album of the year, making her the first American female artist to achieve this feat. Her seventh and final album under RCA, Piece by Piece, was her third album to debut at #1 on the Billboard 200. Its title track became her 11th top 10 single on the Hot 100. She signed with Atlantic Records in 2016 and has prepared a soul-influenced album for a 2017 release. Clarkson has sold over 25 million albums and 36 million singles worldwide and scored a total of over 100 #1s on the Billboard charts. Her accolades include 3 Grammy Awards, 3 MTV Video Music Awards, 4 American Music Awards, and 2 Academy of Country Music Awards. Often called one of the best vocalists in the industry, Clarkson is known for her powerhouse voice, as well as her versatility which enable her to record crossover music. She became the first artist in history to top each of Billboard's pop, adult contemporary, country, and dance charts. She was ranked 19th on VH1's list of 100 Greatest Women in Music. Clarkson has also ventured into television and film, as well as writing a children's book. 1982 to 2001, early life and career beginnings. Clarkson was born in Fort Worth, Texas, to Jean Ann, a first-grade English teacher, and Stephen Michael Clarkson, a former engineer. She is the youngest of 3 children, with a brother named Jason and a sister named Alyssa. Clarkson also has 2 younger half-brothers from her father's second marriage. Her parents divorced when she was 6 years old, wherein her brother went to go live with their father, her sister went to live with an aunt, and she stayed with her mother. Clarkson's mother later remarried to Jimmy Taylor. Her ancestry is Greek, Welsh, English, Irish, German, and Scottish. Her mother is a descendant of Republican State Senator Isaiah Rose, whose life story was discussed on Clarkson's episode of Who Do You Think You Are? In 2013. Clarkson was raised Southern Baptist. She has said, "I always grew up in church. I was the leader of our youth group. I've always grown up pretty close to church and with God. But I think I've just gotten a lot closer just because He's the only one I can lean on." She later said of her upbringing, "My family was highly conservative. I had to go to church on Sunday and Wednesday." Clarkson was educated at Pauline Hughes Middle School, and in the 7th grade, the school's choir teacher, Cynthia Glenn, overheard her singing in a hallway and asked her to audition for the school choir. Clarkson told her that she had never received any professional vocal training. Clarkson graduated from Burleson High School, where she performed in several musicals, such as Annie Get Your Gun, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, and Brigadoon. She sang at her high school talent show, after which an audience member shared some inspiring words with her. "God has given you this gift. You've got to sing. You're destined to sing." Clarkson continued singing and soon started classical training, hoping that music would be her ticket to a college scholarship. Upon graduating from high school, Clarkson was offered full scholarships to University of Texas at Austin, University of North Texas, and Berklee College of Music, but later declined them, explaining, "I've already written so much music and wanted to try a career on my own," adding, "You're never too old to go to college." After graduation, Clarkson worked several jobs to finance of demo recording material and trying to market it to record labels, but received little response. Clarkson turned down 2 recording contracts from Jive Records and Interscope Records, stating, "They would have completely pigeonholed me as a bubblegum act. I was confident enough that something better would come along." In 2001, she traveled to Los Angeles, trying to pursue a career in music. She appeared as an extra in a few television series such as Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, and Dharma and Greg, and briefly worked with musician Jerry Goffin to record 5 demo tracks in trying to secure a record deal. According to Clarkson, her early attempts to launch her music career floundered when she was turned down by almost every U.S. record label for sounding too black, lack of other career opportunities, and a fire incident in her apartment forced Clarkson to return to Burleson, where she worked at a movie theater, promoted Red Bull energy drinks, and worked as a telemarketer and as a cocktail waitress in a comedy club. 2002–2003, American Idol and Thankful. Clarkson at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. on September 11, 2002. Following her win on Idol, upon returning to Burleson, Clarkson was encouraged by her friends to audition for the inaugural season of the reality television series American Idol: The Search for a Superstar in May 2002. Despite receiving a golden ticket, a pass to the Hollywood rounds, in the series premiere, Clarkson made her first appearance during the 2nd episode. In an interview in 2012, Clarkson referred the inaugural season as ghetto, explaining, "On our season we were like kids in camp. Nobody knew what to do. The show was ever-changing every day. They did 1 season of Pop Idol in the UK. But America is a very different market. They dropped us off in a mall and said, 'Find some clothes to wear on national television.' I am maybe the closest to white trash you can get. What do I buy? White pants, I guess. I definitely looked like a cocktail waitress." Clarkson went on to win the competition on September 4, 2002 at the then Kodak Theatre, earning 58% of the votes against runner-up Justin Guarini, and without being sent into the bottom 3 throughout the season. Immediately after winning American Idol, Clarkson was signed to a record deal with RCA Records, 19 Recordings, and S Records by talent manager Simon Fuller, who created American Idol, and music mogul Clive Davis, who was slated to executive produce her debut album. On September 17, 2002, her debut double A-side single, Before Your Love, A Moment Like This, was released. Both songs were performed by Clarkson during the season finale of American Idol. After debuting at number 60 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, the single climbed to number 52 the following week, and subsequently ascended to number 1. It broke a 38-year-old record set by the British band The Beatles for the biggest leap to number 1. It eventually went on to become the best-selling single of 2002 in the United States. Clarkson's debut album, Thankful, was released on April 15, 2003. The album contained aspects of pop, contemporary R&B, and gospel music, with several established musicians such as Rhett Lawrence, Diane Warren, The Underdogs, and Babyface contributing onto the tracks. Released during the urban R&B dominance, the album was well received by several critics. AllMusic critic Stephen Thomas Erlewine praised the album for its vocal ability throughout. This record makes it seem effortless and charming. She can croon, she can belt out a song, she can be sexy and sassy while still being graceful and as wholesome as the girl next door. Henry Goldblatt of Entertainment Weekly remarked, "Clarkson glides through octaves with the masterful control of someone who's been doing this for decades." Thankful was a commercial success, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart and went on to sell over 4.5 million copies worldwide. It was later certified double platinum by the RIAA, platinum in Canada, and gold in Japan and Australia. Its lead single, Miss Independent, became her first international hit, charting in the top 10 in 5 national charts, including the US, and was later certified gold by the RIAA. It earned Clarkson her first Grammy Award nomination for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance at the 46th Grammy Awards. It was followed with 2 moderately successful singles, Low and The Trouble with Love Is. The latter was used as the soundtrack of British romantic film Love Actually. Her first video album, Miss Independent, was released on November 18, 2003 and was certified gold by the RIAA. To support Thankful, Clarkson and Idol Season 2 runner-up Clay Aiken co-headlined the 2004 Independent Tour throughout the US. Clarkson made her film debut with Guarini, with the release of the musical romantic comedy film From Justin to Kelly in June 2003. The film was poorly received by critics and was unsuccessful at the box office, with Clarkson explaining that she was contractually obligated to do the film. Between 2002, Clarkson, along with American Idol judges Paula Abdul and Randy Jackson and hosts Brian Dunkelman and Ryan Seacrest, participated in the season premiere of the 8th season of the television comedy series Mad TV. She also portrayed Brenda Lee in 2 episodes of the television drama American Dreams between 2003 and 2004. On December 25, 2003, Clarkson participated in the television special competition World Idol in London along with the inaugural winners of the several Idol television series around the world. Clarkson was contractually obligated to participate and performed Aretha Franklin's A Natural Woman. She ended up as the runner-up behind the first Norwegian Idol Kurt Nilsson. 2004 to 2006, New Management and Breakaway. Australia trying to distance herself from her American Idol image, Clarkson decided to part ways with Fuller and 19 Management, and hired the services of talent manager Jeff Quatinetz of the firm. She reinvented her musical direction by developing a more rock-oriented sound with her second studio album, Breakaway. Davis served as the executive producer for the record, while Clarkson co-wrote 6 of the tracks with pop and rock songwriters such as former Evanescence band members Ben Moody and David Hodges. Cara DioGuardi, Drive, Luke and Max Martin. Breakaway received critical acclaim, with Earl Wine of AllMusic remarking, "What gives Breakaway its spine are the driving, anthemic pop tunes, numbers that sound simultaneously mainstream and youthful, which is a hard trick to pull off. And they're the tracks that illustrate that Clarkson is a rare thing in the 2000s, a pop singer who's neither hip nor square, just solidly and enjoyably in the mainstream." Breakaway was released on November 30, 2004, and became Clarkson's most commercially successful album. After debuting at number 3 on the Billboard 200, its longevity allowed it to become the 3rd best-selling album of 2005 in the US and was certified sextuple platinum by the RIAA. The album also enjoyed success throughout the world. It topped the charts in the Netherlands and Ireland, and became the world's 7th best-selling album of 2005 and went on to sell over 12 million copies worldwide. Clarkson supported Breakaway with the Breakaway World Tour, consisting of 3 sub-tours from 2005 to 2006. 5 singles were released to promote Breakaway. Its title track, Breakaway, was originally released in July 2004 as the soundtrack for Disney film The Princess Diaries 2: Royal Engagement, and was later re-released as the album's 5th single in May 2006. It became Clarkson's 3rd top 10 single on the Billboard Hot 100 with a peak of number 6. It was a major success on adult contemporary radio, topping the Billboard Adult Contemporary for 21 weeks and the Adult Contemporary Audience Chart for 28 weeks. Since You Been Gone was released as the album's lead single in November 2004, and became Clarkson's most successful single on the Hot 100, despite peaking at number 2. The second and third singles, Behind These Hazel Eyes and Because of You, also followed suit, peaking at number 6 and number 7 on the Hot 100, respectively. Because of You also became Clarkson's first number 1 single on the European Hot 100 singles chart. It also topped the charts in the Netherlands, Denmark, and Switzerland. The 4th single, Walk Away, peaked at number 12 on the Hot 100. According to Mediabase, Clarkson was the most played artist of 2006 in the US. Breakaway garnered Clarkson many accolades, including 2 trophies at the 48th Grammy Awards, the Best Female Pop Vocal Performance for Since You Been Gone, and the Best Pop Vocal Album. She also won Best Female Video 2 years in a row, each for Since You Been Gone and Because of You, at the MTV Video Music Awards. Clarkson's second video album, Behind Hazel Eyes, was released on March 29, 2005. In 2005, she performed and participated during the 30th season of the American sketch comedy series Saturday Night Live, and the reality series Damage Control, with Simple Plan frontman Pierre Bouvier. She performed The Star-Spangled Banner at Game 2 of the NBA Finals. She also performed during the festivities All-Star Game and the 2006 Winter Olympics in Torino, Italy. In 2006, Clarkson recorded a song titled Go as a free download for the Ford Motor Company advertising campaign. Clarkson began venturing into country music by performing What Hurts the Most with Rascal Flatts at the 41st Academy of Country Music Awards, and Cigarettes with the country duo The Wreckers during one of their shows in Texas in 2006. 2007 to 2009, My December and All I Ever Wanted. Clarkson's third studio album, My December, was released on June 22, 2007. The album relied on darker themes and features a heavier rock sound. Clarkson replaced Davis as the executive producer and co-wrote all the tracks. She opted to collaborate with her band members rather than her previous producers and collaborators. Its production and release became a subject of a dispute with RCA, particularly with Davis. He noted the album's lack of professional production input and wanted her to re-record tracks with a more mainstream appeal, which she refused. Clarkson defended, "I've sold more than 15 million records worldwide, and still nobody listens to what I have to say. I couldn't give a crap about being a star. I've always just wanted to sing and write." The album received positive response, but lack of promotion due to reluctance of RCA led Clarkson to dismiss Quaternions and Live Nation, to cancel its accompanying tour, the My December Tour, and reschedule it into a smaller scale, with supporting acts John McLaughlin, Sean Kingston and Mandy Moore. Clarkson later hired the services of talent manager Narvel Blackstock of Starstruck Management. Blackstock was the husband of country artist Reba McEntire, of whom Clarkson is a close friend. Clarkson later issued an apology to Davis, citing him as a key advisor in her success. During the Two Worlds Two Voices tour in 2008, My December debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 chart and was certified platinum by the RIAA. The album went on to sell over 2.5 million copies worldwide. It featured only one major hit single, Never Again, which debuted and peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, her highest debut on the chart ever. On July 7, 2007, Clarkson performed on the American leg of Live Earth concert. Clarkson partnered with NASCAR during their 2007 season, appearing in televised advertisements, performed at pre-race concerts, promoted NASCAR Day, and appeared at the Champions Banquet in December. Clarkson collaborated with Reba McEntire for filming an hour-long CMT Crossroads special at Nashville's Ryman Auditorium on February 22, 2007. Introduced by Dolly Parton, Clarkson performed Why Haven't I Heard From You and Does He Love You with Martina McBride on the television special CMT Giants, Reba McEntire. She also appeared on an episode of McEntire's sitcom Reba, that aired on January 14, 2007. At the Academy of Country Music Awards on May 16, 2007, Clarkson and McEntire sang a country version of Because of You, which also became the lead single from the album Reba Duets. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, and was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Country Collaboration with Vocals. Throughout 2008, Clarkson and McEntire embarked on the Two Worlds Two Voices tour to support Reba Duets and My December. Clarkson's fourth album, All I Ever Wanted, was released on March 10, 2009. Clarkson continued to co-write her own material, but this time she returned to a mainstream-oriented sound by reuniting with previous collaborators Dr. Luke Martin and Dio Gardi, and new collaborators Howard Benson, Claude Kelly, Ryan Tedder, Glenn Ballard, Matt Thiessen and Katy Perry in contributing tracks for the album. The release of All I Ever Wanted was met with positive acclaim from music critics for its lighter themes. The album was a commercial success, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and staying there for 2 weeks. The album has sold 960,000 copies in the US and garnered Clarkson a nomination for Best Pop Vocal Album at the 52nd Grammy Awards. Its first single, My Life Would Suck Without You became an international hit. It entered the Billboard Hot 100 at number 97 and rose to the top position the following week, breaking the record for the biggest jump to number 1 on a single week previously held by Britney Spears' Womanizer. It also topped the charts in the United Kingdom, Canada, and Hungary. It was followed with 2 more top 20 singles, I Do Not Hook Up and Already Gone. The release of Already Gone became a subject of another dispute between Clarkson and RCA after she realized its similarities with Beyoncé's song, Halo, both of which were produced by Tedder. Further promotion for the album was abruptly ended with the limited success of its fourth and final singles, All I Ever Wanted and Cry. Clarkson supported All I Ever Wanted with the All I Ever Wanted tour from 2009 to 2010. She also performed as one of many main artists for the return of VH1 Divas in September 2009. She also became a guest mentor on the Dutch television series 10 Factor in November 2009. 2010 to 2012, Stronger, Duets and Greatest Hits, Chapter 1. Clarkson recorded a country duet with Jason Aldean entitled, Don't You Wanna Stay, for his 2010 album My Kinda Party. It became her first number 1 song on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart and has sold over 2 million digital downloads, making it the best-selling country collaboration in history. It received numerous country-related accolades, including a nomination for a Grammy Award for Best Country Duo Group Performance at the 54th Grammy Awards. Clarkson incorporated country vibe into her 5th studio album, Stronger, which was mostly influenced by Prince, Tina Turner, Sheryl Crow, Radiohead. She worked with several producers including Greg Kurstin, Esther Dean, Darkchild, Toby Gad, Steve Jordan, and Howard Benson. Released on October 21, 2011, Stronger debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and was certified platinum by the RIAA. It was also critically applauded and won the Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Album at the 2013 Grammy Awards, making her the first artist to win the award twice. Stronger's lead single, Mr. Know-It-All, was released in September 2011. It reached number 1 in Australia and South Korea, and attained a top 10 position in 7 countries, including the US, where it became her 9th top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. It also became a crossover hit to the country charts, prompting RCA to reissue a country version. Stronger served as the second single in January 2012, and topped 16 Billboard charts, becoming her 3rd number 1 on the Hot 100. It also reached number 1 in Poland and Slovakia, and reached the top 10 in many other charts worldwide. It remains Clarkson's best-selling single, with 4.7 million copies sold in the US alone. The song was nominated for 3 Grammy Awards, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Pop Solo Performance. Dark Side was released as the 3rd and final single in June 2012, but it achieved a modest success. Nevertheless, it became her 11th top 10 hit on the Billboard Adult Pop Songs chart, surpassing Sheryl Crow and Katy Perry as the female artist with the most top 10 songs on the chart. The release of Stronger was accompanied by 2 EPs, The Smokestack Sessions and iTunes Session. The latter debuted at number 85 on the Billboard 200, and was promoted by its only single, a cover of I'll Be Home for Christmas. Clarkson co-wrote Tell Me a Lie, which was recorded by British boy band One Direction for their debut album, Up All Night. Clarkson promoted Stronger with 2 concert tours, the Stronger Tour and the co-headlining the Kelly Clarkson, The Fray Tour, with the alternative rock band The Fray. On February 5, 2012, she performed the Star-Spangled Banner at Super Bowl 46 to widespread critical acclaim. She later released a promotional single, Get Up, for use in Pepsi's NFL advertising campaign. Clarkson served as a mentor and judge, alongside John Legend, Jennifer Nettles and Robin Thicke, on the ABC television show Duets, which premiered on May 24, 2012. The show concluded on July 19, 2012, with Clarkson's contestant Jason Firol finishing as the second runner-up. She also became a guest mentor to Blake Shelton's contestants on Season 2 of the American television series The Voice. The two latter collaborated on a cover of "There's a New Kid in Town" for Shelton's 2012 Christmas album, Cheers, It's Christmas, commemorating the 10th anniversary of her career in music industry. Clarkson released her first greatest hits album, Greatest Hits, Chapter 1, on November 19, 2012. 3 new songs recorded for the compilation, Catch My Breath, Don't Rush, and People Like Us, were all released as singles. Catch My Breath was released as the lead single in October 2012 and peaked at number 19 on the Hot 100. According to Billboard, it was the 3rd biggest adult contemporary song of 2013. However, its follow-up singles performed moderately on the charts. Clarkson earned more nominations from country music industry, including Best Country Duo, Group Performance for Don't Rush at the 56th Annual Grammy Awards and Female Vocalist of the Year at the 2012 Country Music Association Awards. Chapter 1 was eventually certified gold in Australia, the UK and the US. 2013 to 2015, Wrapped in Red, Marriage, Motherhood and Piece by Piece. In August 2013. In January 2013, Clarkson performed My Country, 'Tis of Thee at the 2nd inauguration of the U.S. President Barack Obama. Her live rendition was acclaimed by critics, who compared it to Beyoncé's pre-recorded performance during the same event. In February 2013, she performed Tennessee Waltz and A Natural Woman at the 55th Annual Grammy Awards as a tribute to Patti Page and Carole King. She also released a non-album single, Tie It Up, exclusively to country music stations in June 2013. Clarkson and Maroon 5 performed on 24 concerts as part of the 12th Annual Honda Civic Tour, starting on August 1, 2013 and ending on October 6, 2013. She was featured on the re-recorded version of Foolish Games for Jewel's first compilation, Greatest Hits. Clarkson also collaborated with singer Robbie Williams on the song, Little Green Apples, for his 2013 album Swings Both Ways. Clarkson's 6th studio album and first Christmas record, Wrapped in Red, was solely produced by Greg Kurstin. She co-wrote all 5 original songs and recorded 11 cover versions of Christmas standards and carols. Released on October 25, 2013, the album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Top Holiday Albums and at number 3 on the Billboard 200 chart. By December 2013, Wrapped in Red had already been certified platinum by the RIAA, and eventually became the best-selling holiday album of the year, making her the first American female artist to achieve this feat. The album's lead single, Underneath the Tree, was an adult contemporary #1 hit in both the US and Canada. Clarkson subsequently became Billboard's 9th top adult contemporary act of 2013. On December 11, 2013, her first Christmas special debut, Kelly Clarkson's cautionary Christmas music tale, garnered over 5.3 million viewers. Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock married on October 20, 2013, at Blackberry Farm in Walland, Tennessee. Upon her marriage, Clarkson became a stepmother to Blackstock's daughter and son from his previous marriage. Their first child, a daughter, was born in June 2014 and their second child, a son, in April 2016. Retaining her relationship with country music acts in 2014, Clarkson collaborated with Martina McBride on In the Basement for McBride's album Everlasting, and with Trisha Yearwood on Prizefighter for Yearwood's compilation Prizefighter, Hit After Hit. In addition, Clarkson performed a rendition of All I Ask of You with Josh Groban on in his seventh studio album, Stages, and its companion television special. She was also featured on Ben Hano's song, Second Hand Heart, which was issued as the lead single from his debut studio album. In February 2015, Clarkson released Piece by Piece, her seventh and final studio album under her recording contract with RCA Records. Musically, it is a electro-pop and dance album, featuring collaborations with Kirsten, Jesse Shatkin, Sia, John Legend, and Shane McAnally, among others. Piece by Piece received a fairly positive response from music critics, and became her third album to debut at the top of the Billboard 200 chart. To promote the album, Clarkson appeared in several televised performances, including the 14th season of American Idol, where she became the only alumnus ever to be dedicated with a competing week featuring her discography. She also supported the Piece by Piece tour throughout 2015, which was cut short of its worldwide visits following medical recommendations for a vocal rest. During the year, Piece by Piece spawned 3 singles. The first one, Heartbeat Song, peaked at number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and became a top 10 hit in the UK, Austria, Poland, and South Africa. However, Clarkson failed to achieve a similar success with the second single, Invincible. The third and final single, Piece by Piece, debuted and peaked at number 8 on the Hot 100 chart. Following Clarkson's emotional performance on the final season of American Idol, it became her 11th US top 10 hit, and matched Never Again as her highest debut on the chart. At the 58th Annual Grammy Awards, the album and Heartbeat Song was nominated for Best Pop Vocal Album and Best Pop Solo Performance, respectively. The following year, the title track also received nomination for Best Pop Solo Performance. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.